when he was good. Brilliant's maybe a bit excessive. He was good. He was really good. He was brilliant when the Giants were a man down, when Luke Yates went off just before half-time for his late hit. That sin binning, which was a fair sin bin. It was late, but it wasn't high. It was forceful, but it wasn't violent. It was, it was fair. Yellow card. But anyway, that period, he was everywhere. He was really good at organising what would you'd expect to be a stretched defence with a man down. He was very good during that period. He set up a couple of plays as well. He had a really good role in a couple of Jerry's tries, but then he just seemed to lose concentration and completely lost any sense of intensity in the game. In the set leading up to Pete's charge down try, he got the first carry from the kick and kind of just dawdled around and went nowhere. And the whole set built off that lack of momentum. And Lee all of a sudden thought, do we have a sniff here? Pete's charged it down, scored the try. Really good reward for his effort on his debut. And Lee were back in it all of a sudden, and it was remarkable. What derailed them was Sidlow's sin bin in for a high tackle, which was also fair enough. And if Jake Wardle's and Lee Gaskell's goal kicking was on form, then the scoreline would have looked a lot more comfortable, I think, for the Giants too, who were definitely the better side. But they need to be wary of that. You can't. This is like games they lost last year, like the game against Leeds that they lost last year, I think just out of lockdown. That sort of game was what I was thinking about here. If you were playing a good side, you're losing this game, Huddersfield. Feels like Watson's Huddersfield have a long way to go still, which is a shame because I was expecting a lot from them this year. But Josh Jones was brilliant. Yeah,
I mean, I've always liked Josh Jones. I was disappointed when he left Saints and went to Exeter to play rugby union. And then when he came back from rugby union, I was disappointed he hadn't come back to Saints. I like him as a player. He's a really tough workhorse of a player, and he's good in the middle of the park. I think I've got a lot of confidence in Watson. I think he will get this team sorted out, but they're still, as you said, they've still got a long way to go. But it's better to win a game than lose one, and at least they've got this under the belt, and obviously they're only getting one win in the Challenge Cup because they're playing us next. Well, there you go.
Well, we know the highlight of the week. It was Jordan Turner's match leveller in the opening game. So we've talked a lot about that. Both would have had a big say on how great that was.
Yep.
Player of the week. Who was your player of the week?
I'm going McShane.
Yeah, and I thought you would, so I thought I'll go for someone else, but I've actually gone for another hooker. It was Brad Dwyer as I've gone for my player of the week, because without Brad Dwyer, that BBC One Challenge Cup match wouldn't have been up to much, I didn't feel. I think his cameo in that game really sparked it up and gave a bit of entertainment to what was a kind of trudge of a game.
Entertainment.
The quarter-final draw then was made, and we now know who all the teams actually are rather than having the either-ors in there. So do you want to take us through what the quarter-final draw looks like?
It looks like a really exciting draw, to be honest. So Hull FC will play Wigan Warriors. Castleford Tigers will play Salford Red Devils. Catalans will play Warrington, and St Helens will play Huddersfield. So it's an all Super League quarter-final lineup, which is probably what we would expect. And I think a very exciting looking draw.
Yeah, and I think two
games are going to be shown on Sky and 2 on BBC. So all games will be viewable.
Yeah, and we've got 2 recent Challenge Cup finals. We've got a repeat of the 2017 Challenge Cup final, which of course is a rerun of the famous 1985 one as well in Hull v Wigan. And Catalans versus Warrington was the 2018 Challenge Cup final, wasn't it? When Catalans made history, winning their first trophy. So
don't forget, St Helens played Huddersfield at Twickenham in a Challenge Cup final.
Yeah, in the mid-nought. That was the last one before we were back at Wembley, was it?
It was.
So 2006?
Yeah, so 3 of those 4 are relatively recent Challenge Cup finals.
And Castleford and Salford are both relatively recent Challenge Cup final losers.
And
grand final losers, yeah. So
it's a really good lineup. I think it's a very exciting lineup we've got here.
I don't think we've had it confirmed yet which games will be which, but I think BBC will go with Hull, Wigan and Catalans, Warrington.
Yeah, those to me look like the picks of the ties. But then again, I wouldn't have said Castleford versus Hull KR would have been the pick of the last round. So who knows?
One thing we didn't mention, actually, when we were just talking about that last game that we were going to, because when we were checking up to see if the disciplinary was in, we also found out that Lee have signed Anthony Gelling, and that's all we're going to say about that. Lee have signed Anthony Gelling. We're not going to talk about it next week.
Right.
So, yeah.
Interesting signing.
That's your lot on that. Predictions last week. I went 8 for 8. Sarah was lulled into going against Huddersfield because they'd let everyone down so far. She went 7 for 8 because Lee let her down this week. Thanks everyone for the fan views on this week. Look out for the links to the Google form on Facebook and Twitter for next week's games. And remember, full stops. We're now going to move on to what I think will be a fairly rapid other results section.
So, we've got NRL Round 5, and in Game 1 we had the Rabbitohs 35, Broncos 6, and the only stat of note in that was Burgess did 246 metres. 246 metres?
Yeah,
it's astonishing.
Farmworth was injured, so there's nothing from the Broncos side of that. But told you, Tom Burgess is going good. Mark Butler said, Brisbane clubbed, of course, but there were a couple of other notable things. A 2-point drop goal, I don't mind it. It rewards players with the chops to pull it off, much like the 40-20 does, so we shouldn't fear a descent into a kicking farce. A try on tackle 1 from a scrum 2. These seem to be a thing in NRL games I've seen. A decline in defence or just rubbing it in against crap teams. Well, there was the 2-point drop goal, but there was also a disrespectful drop goal at the end, so Alan would have been buzzing about that. Alan, co-host Alan, not Alan Walker, who still would have been buzzing because it was the Rabbitohs. He got in touch and said, part captain's run, part eyes up backyard footy. Renault and Latrell have a kicking comp to see who tries a 2-pointer. Renault wins, so has a go, and he pisses it. Easy ass. A 1-pointer and 2 magic tries for Latrell. Oh, and tell your grandkids you saw Benji and Cardinal and Myrtle. Hey, come out and play.
In the second game, it's the Warriors 12, the Sea Eagles 13 in a tight match.
Yeah, it was the Panthers 30, the Raiders 10 as well in the next match. Williams 1 try assist. Whitehead 1 try assist. Hodgson and Sutton also played. Matt Speakman 20 said, I really feel for my Raiders. The game changed when they lost CNK to injury. The Panthers look really good again though. Louis and Cleary are clearly looking like the best halves combo in the league. And Alan Walker said, rampant razzle dazzle rinky dink Panthers run stickies rank dirty Raiders ragged. Raiders wanted to be the big dog, but Panthers shagged them hard like they wanted it to hurt. The halves take options others can't see, this way and that, and then it's stains in the corner. If Panthers meet Bunnies in the grand final, tell your boss to shove your job where the sun don't shine and get there. Raiders window closes, it's as plain as your nose.
That's a good read.
I didn't see any NRL this week other than like 1 try from the Cowboys game and 20 minutes from the Eels game, but that was amazing. Yeah,
great write up there. The Titans, Justin Holbrook's Titans 42, the Knights 16. Titans continue to improve.
Bulldogs 18, Storm 52. Thompson was back with a try in 140 metres.
Roosters 26, Sharks 18.
West Tigers 30, Cowboys 34, and Carsten got in touch. He said, "We're back with a shit defence and a good offence, but against the Tigpeas, but at least it's a win. Bye wooden spoon. # too early." Yeah, by we're back, what he means is they're now only able to beat shit sides, so they finish near the bottom but not on the bottom. That's what he means. Because that's what they have been for like 3 years, so that's what he means, yeah?
Yeah, that's it. Obviously it. That's obviously it. West Tigers 30, Cowboys 34.
I've just done that one.
Oh, sorry, Eels 12, Dragons 26.
Do you want to do the standings as well?
I will. The Panthers are the lone 100% side now. 5 wins from 5 for 8 points.
Oh, 10 points it should be. What am I doing?
It should be 10. Roosters, Rabbitohs, Dragons and Eels are on 8. Storm, Titans and Raiders are on 6, completing the top 8. The Sharks, Warriors and Knights have 2 wins from 5. The Broncos, Tigers, Cowboys and Eagles each have 1 win. And the Bulldogs are bottom with zip.
Yep. There was another game that we heard about this week, and it was the Dorkol Tigers versus Red Star Belgrade in the Serbian Cup quarter-final. It finished 52-10 to the Tigers over Red Star, and Dr. Hideous got in touch. He said, Red Star dominated. Oh, maybe it was the wrong way around then that he's got that score. I don't know. Red Star dominated, more mobile and with fewer mistakes, 18 up at 20 minutes. But then Dorkol got 10 back and wondered if Red Star were blown from their fast start. But no, they scored 3 more tries, 36... Oh, he got it the wrong way around. 36-10 up at half-time. The second half was slower, with only 3 Red Star tries. Final score, 52-10. Stefan Nedeljkovic was my man of the match, a prop who was in every tackle, scored tries, and made good tactical kicks. And I think I nailed that pronunciation, by the way.
I'm not going to argue with you.
Good stuff. That is other results this week, and we're now going to move on to our predictions, where we're going to talk about round 3 of the Super League. Right, predictions time. Round 3 of Super League is where we'll start, and on Thursday night on Sky, 7:45pm, it's Leeds versus Wigan. Battle of 2 teams with no backs, but Wigan seem to have some half-backs now, whereas
Leeds don't. Leeds don't.
I still think my Wigan boys are a bit patchy, so I don't think we'll have a... I don't feel like predicting wide margins for Wigan at the moment with the way things are with kind of our strike not necessarily being there and our first half's not being up to scratch. What I would say is maybe Bevan French might be back. If he is back, he'll be playing on the wing, I would suggest, rather than at full-back, as he's regaining his fitness. But Zach Hardaker's going well at full-back. Wigan by 8 for me.
I said Wigan by 10.
Okay. Friday night, 6 o'clock. If you're a season ticket holder of either Castleford or Lee, you can watch them on the R League app. How do you see this one going?
Castleford by a lot.
Yeah.
I just, Lee are working hard. They show flashes of being good, but Castleford are a properly good side. I expect Castleford to win this by more than, by 4 scores, let's say. So 20, maybe by 20 points.
Yeah, I've got Cass by 22. One note for Lee is that they'll be without Blake Wallace in this game, but I think they've kind of not known where to play him or Braley yet this season, and that was always going to be a problem with those 2 players not quite being there. Cast by 20. Okay, also at 6 o'clock on Friday, you'll be watching this one, I assume, with your little season ticket code. It's St Helens versus Wakefield. And I'll cut to the chase, Saints by 20. What do you think, David?
I don't think it'll be by as many as that. I think Matau's probably going to be missing because he failed the HIA. Lee's ankles bust. So we're going to be a bit short on forwards, which means we'll probably get someone like Wingfield or someone like that, possibly Batchelor. might get into the team this week. So we're not going to be rolling with a full set of forwards. Coote can't be as rusty this week as he was last week. He was very rusty against Leeds. Hopefully he'll be better for the